The pick is in.
The LA Kings have made their first pick in the 2025 NHL Draft. Hi, I'm Rachel Donner, joined now by Eddie Garcia of Locked On LA Kings. And the LA Kings have selected Henry Brzustewicz with the 31st overall pick. And he's a really fascinating defenseman with a lot of potential, right, Eddie?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Certainly comes from a fantastic program in the London Knights, who have produced a ton of NHL players. Obviously, they won the Memorial Cup this year as well. And even one of his teammates on the blue line, Jared Woolley, was a draft pick of the LA Kings a year ago, who they have a lot of high hopes for as well. So a couple LA Kings coming out of London, again, a winning program. He still has some growing to do, but he's going to have time to do it. But I think the Kings are very happy with the selection. Also very happy that for the second straight year, they were able to trade back in the draft, acquire a second-round pick, which they didn't have. Last year, it worked amazing for them when they get Liam Greentree, and then they get the goaltender Carter George. And those are two of the Kings' now top prospects in their entire organization. So it worked out great last year. The Kings are hoping it works out great again this year.
Yeah, it's really interesting with Brzustewicz because he's on a top pairing in London with Sam Dickinson, who, as we know, is a very, very strong prospect, right? And so sometimes with a pairing like that, people knock the other guy and say, oh, you're just playing well because of Sam Dickinson in this case. But I don't think that's necessarily true in Brzustewicz's case here, because he can make some really strong offensive plays when he wants, but he's super active with and without the puck, good at puck distribution, and has a high hockey IQ.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to get a greater role coming up this season as well. So he'll get a chance to grow in his game, get more of an established, role, and have more responsibilities on him. So there's still room to grow. There's no doubt, but the Kings like what they've seen from him so far. Pretty good size, but I think they're looking for him, obviously, as not somebody who's going to come in right away, have a chance to continue to develop, playing for, again, that great organization. Dale Hunter running things in London, knows how to produce NHL players, great pedigree there. So he's got time. But again, there is a nice foundation there with him so far, room to grow, and hopefully that'll happen. Again, I keep talking about last year, Liam Greentree, again, with the season he had the following year after the Kings drafted him. If you redraft the draft from a year ago, he's probably in the top 15 instead of at the bottom end of the draft. So again, I think the Kings are very happy with getting another player out of London. And I'm not surprised at all they went defense as well. Things are a little bit on the defensive side in the organization. So not a surprise that they went with a defenseman. A lot of the mock drafts I saw had them taking maybe Blake Fiddler. He was around, even though they moved back, but they decided to go a different way.
Yeah, Blake Fiddler on the board still is kind of a head scratcher. But that being said, with Brzustewicz, I think, the big project here is, can he improve defensively? And certainly taking on that bigger role in London is going to give him that challenge and the opportunity to get better that way. So I think that is a good next step for him in his development.
Yeah, I think he's also going to be pretty excited to come to Kings development camp on Monday and have familiar faces as well. I mentioned like Jared Woolley, his teammate in London. They'll be getting to come together. I'm sure they're already texting each other and having a good laugh about that. But exciting. The home fans had to wait a little longer.
Right.
Second to last pick for the Kings after they trade back. But I think they got a good player, and we'll be excited to get to meet him and talk to him soon.
Yeah, he won't have to travel far to get to Dev Camp from the draft. That is for sure. For continued coverage of Henry Brzustewicz and the rest of the LA Kings picks in this year's draft, check out Locked On LA Kings on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.